sleep. This is my eyes. Well, this is unlisted. This is NHS England. Right, let me make it clear. The lack of equality in human rights. This is absolutely unlawful. Notice to agents, notice to principal, and notice to principals, notice to agent, all government, officer, agent, employee, foreign, domestic, bar, the Vatican, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, JP Morgan, and all corporate representatives, agents, employees, men or women. And the duty of care for all those unable to be consent to offer, to sign for an offer by Royal Mail Limited, its agents in each town, city, especially my area, UK. And I'll just go and check the sounder while I'm waiting for a friend to assist me. The presumptions being made by computer generated. Yeah, it's all computer generated, it's unbelievable. I'm just going to edit this. We have trolls that like to thumb things down. Oh, let me turn the alarm off. It's 11 o'clock. I'm half asleep, so bear with me. Just testing the sound. Right, and now I'm just going to edit this out. Sounds fine. Breach of GDPR. So this is since May, June 2018, and it's now 31st 10th 2019. The reason why they delayed this. Favour, year, 1 month, delay to statute law. Offer the NHS England new company via capita PLC company via use of via CCG Commissioning Group UK Public Servants offer operated either to access and this is a breach. Not one individual held to account, and then imply to offer by GBS. And one unable to consent to be delivery by recorded on Friday, the 1st, 11th, 2019. My emails, let's just say, account claim to use my March 2019 offer by PDF by email only. This is not, it's not upheld. Was responding to breach of Equality Act 2010. Also, statute data controller, disability, medical records, NHS England, human rights, test the stream now. Okay, so bear with me and I'll sleep. You're going to see a picture. You can hear. GDPR, it's the 2018, you can hear me, statutory regulations. Your right to access your medical records, or any your own data, is within 30 days period. Information Commissioner's Office, Wycliffe House, Cheshire, England, UK, is Well, they take forever to investigate anything. Important for disabled people, families of children, the elderly. If you've been offered combination adult health, social care, mixture of incorrect facts being recorded on databases, AI, computerisation, means these men and women in a capacity as agents for these public funded companies are making up presumptions and in misinformation to national or local other, whether it's private limited companies, whether it's public funded companies and its agents, i.e. public servants, or its agents, employees, men and women. So in March last year, the tight versions for some for me, May, June, I only found out the breach of my private life data of the 1st of June 2018. Horrified. 50 odd years of data in the hands of agents I did not even consent to all my data. Limited access, yes, to aid me in the offer. It was known then, all this time on. Soon find this out. I'm struggling with my health, so bear with me. And it's the evidence of fact I have to date is unbelievable. I have records from years ago, and I've still got the facts of what my offer of medical equipment or personal dwelling or private home, or, your private dwelling is your home. And the presumptions is already rebutted by 2 individuals as agents working for a public funded company in my area, and that caused further additional horrendous complications and intent to cause me further harm and armed stress. In tort law, it's negligence. They've already been proven to be negligent. And this is a report back in 17th of 4th 2019. Moving on, in the public paper, over 300 odd million, and there's a quote of billions being spent on private Shore Healthcare Trust on top. Struggling to talk. So the way to get a rectifying of the facts that's correct and on record. If you didn't know, health care combined, everything's combined. The data is crucial to see whether or not one may or may not be offered goods and services. And especially when you're in similar situation to I. It's the cutbacks in public funds anyway, more than ever, especially in this area, as a target of the national framework to put in by 2020 on the agenda of our obscene the public records. And the fact is that if you have high personal care needs, your health deteriorates, your housing combined. Well, of course, don't get me wrong, the key individuals have a duty of care. They should, in reality, they're not my area, my circumstance. So, on the 31st of 7th this year, 2019, horrified to find out they misinformed another national, excuse me, my voice again, public individual servers in their statutory law offer of a certain subject I won't go into right now. And the reason I cannot accept the offer of fiat currency, of a certain matter is because it affects health. All offers of goods and services is only accepted B.C under the rest by force and cohesion. Because I'm not in that position, like so many people may be in a similar position to I. And once you find out the past whole, 2018 especially, there was no intention whatsoever to offer me anything. And you get to find all this out, and emails, paperwork, etc. So you've thought trying to get access to one's medical records would be a pathway forward to see what is in there, if there's any particular key elements or documentations, medical reports, whatever, that one may not have, because in a summary care record may not be the crucial facts you may need. But I already have some medical information already, and I need to cross-reference with whatever data is held, especially on the subject which has been made about myself, presumptions at the moment. So to correctly rebut the evidence, assuming by third-party individuals, which is not backed up by fact, I really needed this information, and unlawfully, the delay, I've got to check to see if anyone can hear this, especially my ill health at the moment. So the emails and letters been going to and fro to a computerised system. Let me just check this out. Yeah, I've edited this already, so why it's not. There's Medical Records UK, breach of GDPR delay. Who's experienced 1 year and 4 months delay? It's meant to be 30 days. It's meant to be required. So whether you're able to do it online, but I'm not in that position myself. So the requirement was to send a PDF format by email. If it's too large a file, then send it by normal post, by CD format. Well, after months and months investigating this subject and the statutory law and my lawful rights, etc., and the commissioning national policy statutory law process as well, I find out that if there's a problem, because the 2014 Capita Business Service Limited, well, correction, I'll say the global company is Capita PLC, it's an American company, software company that runs every public funded services. So they run the county councils, borough councils, Department of Works and Pensions, Department of Health and Care, Ministry of Justice, you name it, every public funded company. Yes, these are companies. They give the illusion that government's in statutory law, okay? You investigate all this all these years, you find this out. Anyway, I did not consent for data sharing outside of the offer contract by these medical practices funded by NHS England Limited, head office in Leeds, NHS Digital Limited, that's who's running the computer systems, with its contract excuse me, with its contract with the division that is running the software part division of Capita PLC company, set up Capita Public Services Limited Company. When you break it all down, you find and do the research and evidence, you thought, what on earth? I didn't consent for this 10-year plan, NHS England, for all this now digitalised, computerised, more than ever, I've ever experienced in my entire years I've been physically unwell. So these labels, and that's all they are, but the system in England needs labels. And don't get hung up on the labels, it's just how they operate. But the serious bit is where, when you try to respond in paperwork, for example, I've only learnt this yesterday, somebody informed me. When I'm limited mobility, so how am I, or anyone else similar to my situation, able to bond and staple and do and know the lawful sentiment of documentations and responses to offers, especially when you're dealing with the agents working for Ministry of Justice and they're meant to be running administrative court systems, etc. Yeah, that's another situation, another day. In tangent, when you've got two public servants in the subject adult health social care who's absolutely made up presumptions of my personal private life and my medical health. And I'd hope by now I've got these data in the format I'm able to receive. No, yesterday I made it quite clear. I don't get an email, it's a text, and I never consented to using a mobile number. So let's go into the email. I'm half asleep, so bear with me. Sent email. So what is known, and I'll keep to the point. Let me go into the sent emails. Yesterday. Case reference 1C-21791-X4MA of the CICO. I'm unable to consent to the offer of data by recorded mail, by post, or it's the worst. I was extremely ill yesterday as well, so bear with me. Or overdue medical data by recorded post. The claim was made yesterday's date, and email by requirement is clear. Require either CD format or PDF format by email. Below the email reference a breach of data protection statutory act 2018 in line with my rights over 1 year now, via, and I mentioned the woman's name, who's responsible as the data controller of the SAR GP requirement, this SAR subject access requirement. So, it's a generic email, NHS needs CCG, and it's got a code, it's got notifications and letters and numbers at nhs.net. Got code copied into the ico.org.uk. Casework email first was 20/4, or was it? I'll look into that. So one consideration and conditional acceptance of the offer, with counterclaim offer amended, and unable to consent to signing by any other way or any offer, basically, in a nutshell, by recorded post. I've got a letter of March 2019 already received to that individual, and they know my physical reduction of health situation briefly. It's already on medical records of why I cannot sign for anything, and hence preferred options by email. So, i.e. a text went to a phone number, which I never consented, and that was yesterday. 3:40. What, 3 days notice? When I've been waiting 1 year, 4 months? Yes. So this is interlinked with other things going on. They're trying to get my responses and monitor my responses. How sick. Pathetic. This rain. Got a terrible bug. Immune system's run down, affects the voice. Yeah. So, a previous email counterclaim to offer is overdue medical data. One made requirements via this well-known company, pharmaceutical company, in my area, was making it an alternative arrangement. If they require me to sign for this medical data, and their point of view, as like secure, making sure one is the individual signing of the data, then when there's a medical delivery like today, then why don't they send the in a secure package or whatever via the driver individual working for this area pharmaceutical company, and that way I can sign V.C under duress for the upper medical records by their claim to be in the USB sticks, and that was put back an email to them. Will I get response? No. Can I talk on the phone? I'm struggling to talk here. Excuse me. I've not been offered any other correction. This is a law for a reasonable adjustment within the line of Equality Act, Statute Law 2010, Section 2122. I've not been offered any other way to receive of the overdue medical records. As you're aware, one's natural health, physical disabilities, I do not sign for any offer but by recorded post. Only email or normal post only. They know this for years, and it's still the same, nothing's changed. This second email only amended after a private life friend saw a text message and not an email. I await a response of. Only use the email response to the above mentioned subject requirement before. This is tomorrow's date. 1st 11 2019 without prejudice. UB.C. What I'm known by. Yesterday's date 20 past 5. This is a previous email sent at 20 to 5 yesterday to data controller, medical practice and co-funded NHS England, and it was sent as urgent. I never consent to this recorded post offer, nor able to offer by services, employees, companies, by anything being offered by recorded post. Reference the Information Commission's Office, Wycliffe House, Waterland, Windsor, Cheshire. My email to them, date is 16th of the 9th 2019, reference to GDPR, and it was also resent by post. Previous email also sent, and I quote the reference number. I raised my concerns with its employees as agents, and this is a previous medical general practitioner's practice, and their email 2nd 8 2019 claimed the sensitiveness of the medical record data has caused 1 year 4 months delay. No, it has not. It doesn't take 1 year 4 months, maybe 2 months, yeah, maybe say stretch it to 3 months, but no, you don't have a remedy when they breach your data protection, because the Data Protection Commissioner has quoted the office. It's a public funded body in UK, and they also, if you need a remedy, well, that's using the same public, well, not same, but another public funded Ministry of Justice National Limited Company in statutory law. There isn't a remedy for breach of data or any particular matter in contract law, common law, and then you do a notice of claim, tort law. And that takes time. You need your help to do all this. But in the meantime, these agents, civil servants, can make up what they like. And then next thing you have another label which you don't have, they made up, and you haven't got your medical records, so you can't react with backup evidence, with a document, to state you've got your facts wrong, because third parties are raising concerns in their capacity as agents for a public funded company in the UK. It's like bloody Chinese whispers. And that's why I was trying to get access to their requirement of send it by this medical pharmaceutical company individual, and then go through their area manager and the pharmacist individual who works side by side, the local area medical practice could easily get that done straightforward way, one would have thought. There's no other way to receive my medical data, you see, and I put this back to them. I've not, as I said, and I'd already stated why I cannot sign, and I don't have my private friends to sign for me for anything. And this is your private lawful right to set the terms and conditions and recount a claim. And once you study certain subjects, it's all computerized. As I said, they breached GDPR. So Capita PLC is a company because the contract's outsourcing to these how many companies I'm quoting now. Capita PLC, NHS England, co-funds every town and city in England. Is a clinical commission group, so CCG commission. They fund out contracts to each medical general practice, what they call it, primary healthcare terminology, and that covers the general medical practice, services that may or may not be offered, but they're all using NHS digital computerized systems, which is run by Capita PLC, outsourced. So yes, and if the data is not factual, you're not going to get the right services. And then the assumptions by other third parties, public services, individuals, health, social care, say hospital as well, are going to read certain information on the cloud. It's all going on cloud, the data, and then it's all also on System 1 data. And so, if you don't know what's being said about you, how do you know what's being offered is right for you? How can you make informed decisions? And how can you get support if you can't make the right decisions and you need the assistance of another? Without your right, to your own data. And this is just going round. So anyway, it goes on to state, I should not be signing for any recorded post. I never am able to. I've already stated this years ago. It's already in the medical notes. And those whoever may offer on behalf of their companies, public, private, know this also. So this is a breach. Again, Disability Discrimination Statute Act 1995. Direct discrimination. Lack of lawful reasonable adjustments. The spelling is not great because I'm extremely poor when this comes through yesterday. All due respect, I'll make this as informative information for those that may not be aware how this process is. You might have a straightforward system and you might be lucky you might see this video, but for any public servant or agents working for companies, be aware not everybody fits into the a tick box exercise. This is what one's private dwelling. The consider to offer goods and services is by my choice, and that is any incorrections and assumptions being made and using one's responses. Well, just put it this way, I, the living, breathing individual, know exactly what is actually going on behind the scenes now, and it's all leading to, well, got that email that was sent. I'm going back to September. Unlawful discrimination I've experienced, you see. So, unlawful breach of data protection, Statute Act 2018. See the email below. I've not received unlawful delay to access my medical records. 30-day period they have. What a lot of emails, and people are unable to scan in letters, and one that copies emails. I've got so much paperwork in emails, and again I quote, who's responsible for the software programs, and this was sent with regards out prejudice to, and if I did the 9th of August 2019, 10 to 11, the casework generic email says I'm a star. I'm not on bloody email. See, they don't even check their record. It states, if a company fails to respond to subject access request, SAR, despite writing to them raising concern, the timescale is expired, giving them the opportunity to supply it. You can then bring it to the Information Commissioner. I've done that already. Files a complaint via the website, then make a complaint and then your personal concerns, or follow the link. However, we do require evidence. There's nothing on the website to state how they help disabled people to do this, by the way. Or follow the link. We do require evidence, as I said. So how are you going to, when you're struggling with ill health on top, how are you going to do all this on top? And then that you have the communication, and this is a medical practice, and this is the last 3 months. It's 1 year and bloody 4 months delay. In your email you mentioned you put in the requirement a copy of medical records of June 2018. That was May actually, and June, yes. Therefore, if you have no communication, and since last year, then you need to raise concern with them. I've done all this before, by the way. And it just quotes a helpline number, direct phone number. And it's a lead case officer. Okay? And my email was the 5th of the 8th, 2019. See? I've done all this. And you still don't get anywhere. So, let me go into... because it affects all your data. So, statutory documentation, dealing with other public funded services offers, as I said, adult health social care, now it's going into the remit of financial issue, going into the remit of why one is unable to accept certain services in a different subject at the end of the day. And then when you're dealing with a subject like housing, health, social care, it all works in tandem together. So when you're looking at other subjects, I've got evidence in March this year, 2019. It was crucial to get this medical information because I've got evidence for this past 2018 where I have been failed statutory act of care at 2014, and all these previous documents evidence I was left on a waiting list for re-referral for advocacy offer, and I found all this out in the reports in April this year. Well, by May I had went back to certain individuals in the role to state I've got more evidence, more facts that the cutbacks in public funded services is having adult effect, adult health, social care, housing. So who I'm dealing with thinks I'm causing the delay in certain situations. I'm not. So overdue 29th is affecting everything. So again, all these contracts, all these offers of goods and services to disabled people are coming from the national contracts at NHS England, and they're all subcontracted out to all these other companies. It's unbelievable how much of this is sent out. So it was implied, whether you got equipment loan of OT equipment in your home, whether you got this, whether you got that, the fact is, it's all funded by the bigger picture. I'm just going again. I have evidence of all these emails. Let's go into this. 25th of August, for example. The certain subject is crucial to get the right medical information, the right medical records, to see what's been said about you by third parties, and if it's not right, you've got a right to amend. But all these past months, all these past emails, for example August, to the National Housing Company, all these since, again, March, smoke alarm delay repair, delay to do other things that's been going on. So if they're working behind the scenes and make assumptions in public law to imply, there's a vulnerable individual living in such and such a secure tenure in one's home, all they're concerned about this, that and the other, whatever their opinions are, you need your medical records to see what's being said about one. And if that's not correct, you have a lawful right to correct the record. Because how it works together now in England, they're sharing. Because if there's like a red flag on your data or disinformation and comments being said about your personal opinions, then it needs to be factual. And I found out it hasn't been. And this again is crucial to get the right medical evidence records, And so I've got documentation, evidence, emails. It's not straightforward. And so when you do your documents, you're counteracting, you're doing a full rebuttals, you're allow access to your private dwelling when you're able to, and anything I deal with, all this history, all these emails, any goods and services is always that way because it's much easier to deal with. And then the breach of your data protection, for example. This is the fifth. I've got evidence of all this. I don't know if I can twist the camera around. Right. I'm dealing with NHS England, NHS Improvement, X24, NHS England, NHS Digital actually. So basically, it went in again on the 5th of the 8th, 2019, a breach of the 30-day period. My letters, which was sent to, was posted and delivered to the medical practice. This has now been over 1 year delay to use a contract company, Capita PLC, to handle my personal data. I'm aware of the NHS England policy with regards to medical practice, and this used a call centre, an individual male last week, and because I've been trying to chase this up. So the IT computer software version used by CCG Commission instead, the fact that the evidence I'm invented to speak now, also I can't even get through to the main general petitioner. Who can ever get hold of a doctor anyway? And then goes on, contract is with the NHS England and general petitioners. So again, 29th of July 2019, we sent, again chased it up. So SER requirement, the overdue delay, so it goes into all that again, the NHS framework policy, reference to one's lifelong disabilities, my concerns, are meant to be offered a choice of health and care. I've not been offered any choices, by the way, and this is a matter of urgency. This is 29/7/2019 at 3:40. 17th of May 2019, and they even got, this is where I notice they even got it was signed, it wasn't even signed, it was IT produced, and so I'm going to go onto the website. I'm going to go in a minute. Oh, bunged up. This is just doing it. Administrative office. Sick or PIC notes, referrals, medical reports, keep us updated, change your birth status, data, tell us if you are a carer, feedback, complaints, poor experiences. See, they want your information. May take up to 3 working days before they receive a reply. See, this is how they've changed. It's run by a computer AI system. Right? Oh look, and by the way, Dr. Link does not refer on as a private limited company Doctor link. It does not refer onto the medical practice information. It's a private limited company. It doesn't share the information online. It doesn't share it on NHS providing NHS services. Doctor link. It's a limited company. Download the app. It doesn't respond. You know, it's computer generated. They don't respond. This has been months like this, by the way. Oh, do you want your flu jab? Good luck. Natural health. So, quality care commissioning, clinical commissioning group, clinics and services, home visits. Yeah? Do you ever get a home visit? Home visits are screened by a doctor or are made when the doctor feels it's necessary on medical grounds. See, I never get offered a home visit. Why do they keep sending out? Yeah. And who can call before 10:30? If you generally assist by attending the surgery whenever possible, though admins know I'm not in that position, who is? Please give as much detail as possible about the problem so the doctor can judge how urgent the visit is. Yeah, they want to use a computer, by Skype or something like that. Practice leaflet, policies and procedures, data for commissioning and secondary care purposes. GP to GP records transfers, non-NHS work, that you can do the online, your medical records. Really? What if you go in to sign up with their paperwork, but I'm not in that position? You can view a summary of the record that details medications, allergies. What about your full records? So you can access appointments, prescriptions, facilities used online. It's all online, okay? But what about your full records? Well, how much are the GPs earning? 42,000 a year. 42,000 a year. NHS services patients, each practice, the average was 42,000 a year before tax and insurance. This is a 3-year GPs, 5-year GPs, 1.82 locum GPs has worked with practice for more than 6 months. 42,000 of public purse is going to each GP doctor. Yeah? And you can't get a blinking home visit. And that's NHS England for you. That contract's out. So, if you can't get into, there are facilities on 3 floors, lower ground floor, first floor, all available lower ground floor. Only be able to access via staircase. Let's have a look at wheelchair access. Wheelchair access can be gained from the rear of the building, but a general patient parking is at the front. So how do you get in your wheelchair out of a disabled vehicle, out of the main front entrance where the premises are, round the back in a side uneven, level pathway to the back rear door. This is why to say people need home visit by this particular practice anyway. Right. Data for commissioning. It is already a requirement of Health and Social Care Statutory Act that practice must meet the reasonable data requirements of commissioners and other health and social care. Their companies, by the way, I'm just reading their website. Through appropriate and safe data sharing, I do not consent ever, and I made it clear, for data sharing for secondary uses as specific and technical, and it goes into all the jargon. I've already opted out specifically to opt out of the care data. We look at about what care.data is, and with the AI computerized system, be careful about your data sharing. You're not bothered, fine, but be careful if it's not correct data. That goes on, which allows for removal of data from the practice. Please see the reception for the opt-out. I already did all that by post. They rejected. Recorded post it was sent months ago, last year, actually, and they even ignored all that. Confidentiality. Within the NHS, individuals' information identifiable is anomalous and may be disclosed with provisional care, management, health and care services. Outside of the NHS, individuals' identify information only released with the specific consent of the individual. You see, already restricted. They're using the old information, Data Protection Statute Act 1998. They haven't even uploaded it. This woman called Joanna King, she is on the information on the website, it's public knowledge. She's the one that's caused, with their administrative individuals, the delay to medical data. So they've got a statement of intent. Right. Summary care record, SCR, no. I've already got the version of this. The same contract obligations that we have a statement of intent regarding these developments in place. So if you want to have a look at your medical practice in England, just see what any update information is. Can't download it. Yeah, so you can view your full records online. And if you want to download the statement of intent, then fine. So you got the deputy practice manager is a new individual. Right. You got the GMC qualifications. You've got a salaried doctor. You've still got the same male and females working there. They're trying to be transparent. Rights and responsibilities. Yeah, see, you have a right to be treated with dignity and respect and in a courteous professional way. Goes into all individuals should counsel unwanted appointments, Be polite to their employees and behave in a non-threatening manner. We reserve the right to remove those who do not comply with their terms and conditions, really? Or what about when they breach your data? And they go, we will report to the police who are aggressive or threatening. Really? What about when they breach your lawful rights? So if you don't agree with the terms and conditions, you need to put it in writing, which I've already done. So that you would be careful because how you respond. I've got to now run this train because it's getting late. Not me, my friends has come in. But anyway, beach my data. Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, so basically it's all going online. Well, it is already online, of course. So they are training of new healthcare individuals such as medical students, new GPs and paramedics. Yeah, so that's about NHS England national public funding going into them to make data sharing. Be careful about your data. How can you get better healthcare when your data is not being correctly formulated and secure? How can you plan and how the service can improve when they don't do things in the lawful due process? And they're not getting the full picture or the facts. What care? What is not working? But it's not working. And by the way, be careful about your postcode, NHS number, but not your individual. Link your records into a secure system. Be careful about that, that's what I mean. If the facts are not correct, you won't get the right services. And that's what I've been trying to do. So, NHS England, here you go, use the website. It closed in 2016. I already did mine. NHS England Health and Social Care Information Centre set out steps to raise public awareness of care data. How much they spent on all this, collecting your data. But it's not correct. Here we go, the Director of NHS England of Information is K. Leasy. So you have a right to reject, which you've already done. And the Chair of the Health and Social Care Information Centre research at a company's house you might find it's actually a limited company. You got a list of information on the website. NHS England, just go and do Google search on that. Anyway, I'll go out of that now and I'll just close it there. Yeah. So I'll just check this stream and see if it's playing up. And I'm going to go. Just checking. It's affecting everything. So, again. Okay, it's not brilliant, but I did edit this stream. And I'm just going to check it after. I've got to go. But be careful about your personal data. And this is why I'm not getting the right goods and services being offered. But anyway. I'm just going to end this stream and just link up to NHS England. I'll just try and type that in. Your rights. IE NHS England. And I just posted that. Anyway, God bless.